What's up, yo?
Hello, everybody.
How's it going,
What's
everybody?
up, gentlemen? How we doing?
Going.
We are all right.
Hey,
Lions
don't you
Super
eat
Bowl
my
season
breakfast sandwich?
starts
Get the
now.
f- out of here. Sorry about that. My cat's going after my breakfast. Never a dull moment here on the Sports Wave Network. What's going on, gentlemen? Football is back.
Yes, sir.
a great
Finally.
Excited.
Finally, right? All summer long. We are finally back at it. We got some stuff to get into. TJ, Alec, Jake. What's going on, boys? How we doing?
Good.
Doing fine.
Good
Where
day.
do y'all want to start, or do you want me to just dive right into it and we can get right to it?
Yeah, let's just jump in.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so we're gonna do this kind of roundtable style. We'll go back and forth, and we'll do it lightning round kind of predictions, and we'll go from there. All right, so let's start it off with the week one. Let's do some week one predictions. How's that sound?
Sounds good.
Sounds good.
All right, so let's bring up our week one games that we got. And we will, like I said, we're going to do it just kind of lightning round. All right, first game, 1 o'clock. We're going to start with the 1 o'clock time frame. Panthers and the Saints. And TJ, we'll start with you. Who you got?
Saints.
Saints over the Panthers. Any particular anything you got to say?
You know, they're both kind of snake bitten right now, but just Carolina, I can't go with them. Can't go with them.
I agree 100%. They're struck. Carolina might get the first overall pick again this year.
That should be in play for them, honestly. So
Jake, what do you think? Who you got?
I got the Saints. It's not going to be a pretty game, but I still think the Saints have more talent than the Panthers. Simple as that.
Yeah. Alec, who you think? Who you got?
When you flip a coin, there's a 50-50 chance that you would land at either heads or tails. And I feel like this may be more of a coin flip type of game here because divisional games are always wonky. That said, I'm giving the edge to the Saints because they play at home and they have the more well-rounded talent around them. They did lose Michael Thomas because of the injury, E-Bug. But Carolina, they're one of those teams that could be on the most improved offenses list. Defense is what concerns me, however. Bryce Young's development is going to be a key thing to watch, but as long as the Saints have Chris Olave, I feel that's where they're going to be good at.
I agree. I agree with you, fellas. I am going to take, so it's a unanimous Saints pick from the crew. All right, staying in the
If
1
we're
o'clock.
wrong here, you are free to meme us.
Yeah, please. We encourage it. We'll even share them out.
It would be embarrassing if New Orleans lost to Carolina.
All right, sticking with the 1 o'clock time frame, Vikings and the Giants. Alec, who you got?
Man, this is even more of a coin flip than the Saints and Panthers game. Well, you can pick either side, and you would definitely not be wrong. Each team has compelling cases for the win. I feel this is one of when I was doing NFL predictions on this site in which I was doing my predictions, I had this game as one of the two Giants victories that I have on the season. Yes, I'm picking the Giants to beat the Vikings, but I feel this is one of just two games in which I see them realistically winning. Home, and the first game they have Malik Neighbors, who is going to be providing highlight reels for them on the year. The downside is Daniel Jones, but it's Sam Darnold on the other side. This quarterback matchup doesn't inspire me confidence.
Here's a spoiler.
What do we got?
Oh no.
Oh, technical difficulties.
Wait, he froze?
Yeah.
Well,
So,
that's not good.
do we roll on with predictions or do we wait?
Well, Jake, you want to go?
Yeah. I'll go. I'll say I got the Vikings in this one because Justin Jefferson is better than Malik Neighbors, and that's the only reason. The rest of the game is going to be awful, but I still see Justin Jefferson getting fed the ball enough to score at least 2 touchdowns, and Neighbors is going to have a similarly good game, but I think the Vikings are they're both terrible, but I think the Vikings are less terrible than the Giants. Both teams are going to get like 5 wins at most, though.
Yeah,
That's
the other
realistic
season's
on our
looking too
point.
good for him.
Oh,
Well, I'm
We
going.
just got some clarification. Yeah, Beantown Breakdown's power just went out. Oh, he's back.
Oh, he's back.
So
Welcome
that
back,
was the
welcome back.
weirdest thing ever. It just like everything in my basement just like shut off for like 15 seconds.
What happened was a Jets fan snuck in, and
I was hacked by the Jets fans. Not cool.
Not the evil Jets.
Not the brightest moment for the Jets fan base, especially the offseason drama of Aaron Rodgers.
All right, so let's go back at it. So we left off with the we were at the Vikings and Giants, and then Alec, you had said
Yeah, I said Giants. Jake said Vikings.
Vikings for Jake. TJ, who you got?
I have the Giants over the Vikings. I have this as one of maybe 3 or 4 wins for them this season. It's really a battle of which quarterback won't mess up enough to cost his team the loss. And I just think with Neighbors in, Daniel Jones, he can scramble, run around, make some stuff happen. Meanwhile, Donald on the other side, he sees ghosts. So I'm going to go with Giants on this one.
I am too going with the Giants. Because one, I know Sam Darnold because we've played him, playing the Jets. So I know what he's capable of and what his limitations are, and he doesn't do well. Here's one reason. Everything for me is kind of a wash. So you have to look at, talent to talent outside. The one major difference is the Giants have Malik Neighbors, and he's a game changer.
So is Justin Jefferson on the.
But Justin Jefferson is too, but you got to look at who's throwing him the football. Darnold. Like I will take Daniel Jones over Sam Darnold any day of the week that ends in Y.
It's a true battle of mid.
So I will pick New York as well. I think Minnesota could be picking top 3 this year. They could be picking top 3. They're not going to be a good team.
Yeah.
All
good
right,
alliance.
moving on. Patriots playing the Bengals. Let's start with TJ. Who you got?
Well, as a Steelers fan, I'd love to say the Patriots, but it's probably going to be the Bengals, barring a major upset.
That
early in week 1
would
there.
hurt your soul to root for us, wouldn't it? Wouldn't it?
Well, right now the Bengals are the bigger threat, so I prefer for the Patriots to pull an upset, but I just don't see it happening. The Bengals are too stacked. Last time I saw Chase is still playing, even though they didn't come to a long-term agreement. So it's just going to be a long day for that Patriots secondary, I think.
I would wholeheartedly agree. Jake, who you think? Who you got?
I've got Cincinnati.
Cincy? Alec?
Yeah.
Okay. With the recent reports and developments of Jamar Chase and with T. Higgins being doubtful for this game,
I was getting a coffee and from Dunks, and they confirmed that T. Higgins is not playing tonight, or this afternoon. He will not play today.
All right, so that doubles down on this. So So what I've been noticing from Cincinnati early in the season in the last 2 years is that they tend to start slow. I feel this is going to be one of those games in which it's going to be uncomfortably tight for them if they were to pull off such a win. And it's not like offensive line play for either team has really been promising. Defense is where I have questions for Cincinnati. Well, there's going to be growing pains for them. They lost some pieces in the offseason. And the Patriots, they are looking rough on that end as well. Difference is, since he has a star quarterback and the Patriots don't. But I feel that I have this hunch on the back of my head that this could scream trap game for the Bengals.
100%. I could see it. Jake, what do you think?
I've got Cincinnati winning this game. It's going to be uncomfortably close, but you're pitting Jacoby Brissett against Joe Burrow, and Joe Burrow's a million times better than Jacoby Brissett. However, without their top wide receiver and without a top wide receiver in T. Higgins, and we don't know about Jamar Chase, that screams sketchy to me. I don't know if I can say that this is going to be like a blowout win, even though Cincinnati on paper is leagues better than New England.
So is Jamar Chase, he's confirmed playing today, right?
I don't know. I think
He is playing today, right? I know for a fact that
He is
I heard for a
questionable.
fact.
I saw a report saying despite inability to extend contract, he still plans on playing today.
Okay,
It's
so he will play.
unclear, as they're saying he might be sick.
So that's going to be
Well,
a
he might
fun.
be sick.
The curious thing from TJ, who do you got, TJ? Who you pick? Who'd you pick?
I picked the Bengals over the Pats.
So the curious thing for me, being a Patriot fan, and one, screw all you guys for not picking my team.
I was close, though.
The curious thing for me to watch, which I think they're going to lose too, but I don't think they're going to lose by as many points as people think they're going to lose by.
Yeah.
I think the Bengals will beat them by 10 points. I couldn't give you a score prediction, but I think the Bengals will beat them by 10 points. I think it's going to be a lot closer than people think. I don't think it's going to be a blowout.
I can agree with you there.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
I think the
Bengals don't
Patriots
have
will
T.
keep it, and
Higgins.
I air quote this, in a 10-point loss. Respectable. Like, they're not going to look completely inept on offense. The defensive side of the ball is where they're going to struggle, though. 100%. We lost Matt Judon, who was our number one pressure producer from last year. Quarterback pressure, pressure behind the line of scrimmage, whether it was in the run game or in the passing game. Don't they get that's my breakfast sandwich, asshole. He's over here trying to eat my breakfast sandwich. Look at him.
Cat gang. Hey.
Oh, he's a beast. He's 18 and a half pounds.
Oh my goodness.
But so that's our defense is going to struggle because you lost Matt Judon, and then and I'm not trying to knock Gerard Mayo in any way, shape, or form, but when you go from Bill Belichick to Gerard Mayo, that's a big step down. Coaching wise, defensive knowledge wise, coaching wise. So the team automatically got worse as soon as you drop from Bill Belichick to Mayo, and you lost Judon to free agency, and Christian Barmore has blood clots, so he's not going to play today either. And they're still making a decision on whether he'll even play for the whole season. So the Pats defense, if you have a fantasy team, do not pick them on DraftKings when you're picking the defensive side of the football. Don't go there. Bad
I
idea.
don't think anyone was going to do that anyway.
So we're all on the same page with that one too, Cincy.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's keep it in the 1 o'clock window. We got a couple more of these games. Steelers and the Falcons. So let's go with the resident. We got 2 resident Steeler fans. TJ, who you got?
I have the Steelers. partially because that's where my heart lies. Secondly, it's going to be a really interesting game. I just saw a few minutes ago it was ruled that Justin Fields will get the start. Russell Wilson's out. In my opinion, that helps the
I think Justin Fields going to surprise some people
Steelers
down there.
more than anything. Can't really run nowadays.
Yeah.
Justin Fields in preseason, he was all over the field. Offensive line, it's non-existent. They still haven't figured it out. So Justin Fields presents another option to run with the ball. The only real difference is going to be what is Kirk Cousins able to do in his first game as well with Atlanta. But I'm going to stay with my home team. I'm going to pick the Steelers to win because of that.
And I think the Steelers have a better defense.
We'll see. We'll see. You never know.
Alec, what do you got?
Another coin flip game here. My heart lies with the Steelers, though Justin Fields arriving here, I feel he could look comfortable under an Arthur Smith offense that emphasizes on play action. And while I hope he plays well, he's not a guaranteed thing. The running game is there. The passing game, the receiving weapons, they come in with question marks, especially since we couldn't get Brandon Ayuk. George Pickens is our unquestioned wide receiver 1. Roman Wilson not being there just hurts things. But Pat Freiermuth got his payday. That is a big thing. Atlanta, on the other hand, they made major splashes this offseason, not only with Kirk Cousins, got in Raheem Morris, and with Raheem Morris, a new offensive coordinator, Zach Robinson. They both came from the Sean McVay system. That's all you need to know with both Morris and Zach Robinson. And with Robinson implementing a fresh start on the Atlanta offense with Bijan, Pitts, and Drake London, it's close. So defensively, that's where the Steelers have the edge, is what TJ said. And I'm tempted to pick the Steelers on this one as well, but it may be a very close game.
Nice. Jake, what do you got? Who do you think?
Well, I got to apologize to TJ and Alec, but I have Atlanta winning this one. I don't see Justin Fields succeeding today. I don't think that the Steelers defense is going to have as great of a day as people are thinking. I think Atlanta's just got the better, more well-rounded offense. You've got Kirk Cousins with Bijan Robinson running the ball. You've got Drake London. You've got Kyle Pitts. I think that offense is just too good.
Good points. Definitely.
You can respect that pick.
This is a true 50-50 game. This is a true coin flip game. This could go either way. This is a Atlanta did go out and have a really good offseason, as much as I hate the Falcons. They had a really good offseason. Oh my God, I just lost my train of thought. Dirt. Yeah. So the offseason for Atlanta was really good. They did go out and get Cousins. They did a pretty good job at revamping that offense and trying to take it in a better direction than it was last year. That being said, I still don't have any faith in them until they prove me wrong. I'm gonna go with Pittsburgh. I'm gonna go with Pittsburgh in a close game. Although Atlanta's defense is good, though, very if Pittsburgh can't run the football, they're screwed. They have to be able to run the football and keep and keep Cousins in the offense off the field.
And Najee Harris, he has some of the lowest yards per carry that out of all the starting running backs in the league.
Yeah, Pittsburgh has got to run the football. If they're going to win that game, they have to produce on the ground, and they'll be
establish it and stick with it.
Yes. I can't tell you how many Steeler games that I saw highlights of last year where they were running the football well in the first half, and then they just went away from it, and it would boggle my mind to why would you do that? You were getting 4.5 yards of carry on the ground. Just run it down their throat. If you have to run the football 50 times, who cares? They can't stop you.
If they're able offensively to break off, I think some kind of big play with Fields running the ball either by design or just him scrambling around, I think that's going to really set up the Atlanta defense to be on their toes for the rest of the game. That might make a difference if he can get a big run early on.
See, a lot of people have gone back and forth with Fields this year and how they feel with him, and I understand it because they're basing it off of what he did in Chicago, but Chicago that's a bad team.
Yeah,
that's
not
bad
a good
team
example to put
with
out.
Bad offensive weapons, with a bad offensive line, and a horrible defense.
You can argue they've stacked the team more with Caleb Williams starting his first game today than they did the entire Justin Fields era.
That's what I mean. Like they
sad.
Like Fields was not put in a good spot, and then they didn't put him in a good spot down there, and then they put all the pressure in the world on top of him and just said go out and perform. Like that's not a way. That's not how you succeed with a rookie quarterback. You give him the best chance he has to, with the best weapons, and you do everything. You're supposed to help these kids out a little bit. You got to throw them a bone a little bit. Fields was just kind of thrown into the wolves, but I do think he'll surprise people down there in Pittsburgh. I think his playmaking ability, I think, is going to make a huge difference. The ability to scramble and run and move.
If we're talking about running the football in Pittsburgh and that being something that they have to do, I'd much rather have, current Justin Fields than a washed-up Russell Wilson.
100%. 100%. Wilson is toast. Russell Wilson's toast. That dude needs to just hang them cleats up after this season. There's nothing there. I mean, was he a really good quarterback in his prime? Absolutely. In Russell Wilson's prime, he was very, very good. But it's well past that point. Well past it.
Yep.
He's been playing for 12 years now?
All right, Texans and Colts. Let's start it off with Jake.
I've got Houston, but here's the thing. The Colts are going to surprise everyone and keep it close. I could see this one very easily going to overtime. I'm a believer in Anthony Richardson, and I think he's going to take the Colts to I think he's going to take the Texans to the brink, and as good as Houston is, I think Houston will pull this one out in the end, but it's going to come down to one defensive play at some point late in the fourth quarter, I'm sure.
Yeah, no, I could get on board with that take 100%. I think I'm kind of on the same thing. I could see the Colts keeping this much closer than people think. Alec, what do you got? Who do you think?
Yeah, I'm going with the Colts on this one. As is mentioned before, divisional games are always wonky, and I feel this is going to be another one of those wonky games. But we could be in line for a good one here. One that, as Jake said, could be decided in overtime. So Anthony Richardson, we don't know what he could be. He's shown flashes of what he could be. However, his playing style brings me some injury eyebrow raisers because he got hurt several times last season before he was ruled out for the year. But that Indy offense is what intrigues me a lot. They have a good defense that can be top 5 in sacks. Offensively, with Adonai Mitchell joining the mix with Michael Pittman Jr., who is underrated, and with Josh Downs having a stellar rookie year, you have Jonathan Taylor in the mix. I think they can go toe for toe with Houston on the day. And I think they pull out the win at home.
100%. TJ, what do you think?
I see the Texans over the Colts. I also see it as a closer than expected game, but I just, if a team at the end needs to get that drive offensively or get that stop, I just feel like the Texans are going to be the ones to make the difference to win the game. The Colts, I think that they have a bright future, but unfortunately, because of the injury last season, it's pretty much restarting, getting Richardson, used to the offense and getting him a full season again. And I just really like what D'Amico Ryans has going on in Houston. You got C.J. Stroud and Tank Dell on that offense. I just see the Texans winning this game probably by about a touchdown, maybe 10 points to seal it late in the game, something like that.
Nice. So I'm going to go with the Texans, but it's definitely not going to be easy. The Texans offense last year was awesome. They were CJ Stroud is the truth. That kid is the truth. The one thing that got them in the playoffs was they could offensively go toe to toe with some of the best teams out there. I mean, outside of Kansas City, I think they could get into a shootout with pretty much anybody in the league and go toe to toe with them. The defense is that secondary is what I think that's ultimately going to get them again. They have got to get better they got to improve that defense if they want to get to the AFC Championship Super Bowl level, then that defense has got to get better. And I think that's what's ultimately going to cost them. Ultimately, what could end up costing them in the long run. But I do think they survive today. I think they get the win today.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Couple more games. We get 3 more in the 1 o'clock, and then we will move to the 4:05 time slot. Cardinals taking on the Bills. Let's start off with TJ.
I have the Bills beating the Cardinals. You just the future does look bright for the Cards with Marvin Harrison Jr. He's going to probably be much like a Larry Fitzgerald was for the first half or so of his career, where he's going to be a bright spot for Arizona because you're probably not going to win too many games in the next few years. But other than that, I mean, Murray's still, is he the guy? Is he not the guy? This season feels like the determining factor for him. But you got to go with what you know, and that's the Bills. They may have their postseason woes, but lately in the regular season, they've been doing really solid. So I'm going to pick the Bills, and you can't go against Allen and all those guys, even with some missing pieces at the wide receiver core this year.
I would agree. Jake, what do you think?
I've got Buffalo. It's going to be ugly for Buffalo compared to how it's been the last few years, but I just don't think the Cardinals are there yet. The Bills are still a contender in the AFC, even without Stephon Diggs or really a lot of proven guys at the wide receiver core. You can't count out Josh Allen, who has been a great quarterback. And
we lost TJ. Actually, no, he's still here. All right, we're good.
Anyway, I was saying, I don't think the Cardinals, they're going to be Kyler's going to have some highlight plays. Marvin Harrison Jr. is going to be good for fantasy. I don't see them winning. And Buffalo, they're still probably going to win their division. They probably are going to lose in the playoffs, but that doesn't mean that they're not going to have a decent regular season. And that starts today.
Yeah. Alec, what do you think?
As high as I am on Arizona and their future with Marvin Harrison Jr. and Kyler Murray, I don't see them beating the Bills. They had the more well-rounded team. It's not just Josh Allen. It's this offense is built around him. But we also have to count that they have some intriguing pieces back on defense. Forget about Ed Oliver, Terrell Bernard, and bleeding that front seven on the way. Plus Greg Russo having a breakout year in the last 2 seasons. Secondary is where lies the questions, but Rasul Douglas can hold up that secondary pretty nicely.
Yeah.
I think Buffalo's got Arizona this time. It may be by at least 2 scores, that's how I'll put it, because Arizona's defense bugs me out.
Yeah, no, the Cards got a lot of building to do. They do. They got a lot of work. Their future looks good. I don't have a lot of faith in Kyler Murray. Marvin Harrison Jr. is going to be the truth, though. I got a feeling he's going to have a very, very good year, and I would agree. He's going to end up like a Larry Fitzgerald. I just hope he gets a title before he goes.
Oh,
because
for
that's
sure.
the
I
one.
agree.
That's the one regret. I almost wanted Larry Fitzgerald to go to another team just to get a ring, because he was one of the guy's one of my favorite non-Patriot players to watch play the game. And he was just a five-star human being on and off the field too. Like, the guy was what you aspire to be as an NFL player. He was just good right to the very end. Even in his later years, he was still producing. TJ, you got your prediction in, right?
Yeah, I went first, Bills.
All right. Yeah, see, mine. All right. I think so. For me, Buffalo did lose a lot in the offseason. They did lose a lot, but not enough to impact them from beating the Cardinals. I think the Cardinals are going to struggle through this year yet again. They have a lot of work to do. I think Buffalo. Alec, I'm going to kind of agree with you. I think Buffalo wins by double digit points in that game. I don't think it's going to be close. I think Josh Allen gets it done when he needs to. All right, moving on. Final 2 1:00 games: Titans and the Bears. Suckfest.
Could it be
All
the
right.
spread bets?
Alec, who you got?
Well, I know people are high on the Bears because of how much intrigue they brought in with, as mentioned before, about how they did better at building the team around Caleb Williams than they did around Justin Fields, which is mind-numbing still to this day.
Yeah.
But with Keenan Allen and Rome Odunze to join along that receiving in core alongside DJ Moore, that could speak a lot. Plus, with DeAndre Swift joining the mold as running back one right next to Khalil Herbert. Tennessee, though, they also have intrigue next to them. We forget that Brian Callahan is an offensive-minded coach. They built this team to ensure that Will Levis is in a good position. And Tennessee, they do have key pieces to have around Levis as he starts his NFL career. With DeAndre Hopkins, Calvin Ridley being the top two on the team of the receivers, but Tyler Boyd at the slot, sneakily good addition for them. Now, Tony Pollard and Tajay Spears, that's a solid 1-2 combo mix at running back. They do forget that these two could be balanced out offensively, though the Bears, they could have the advantage. However, I feel Caleb Williams is going to have some struggles right with him. And this may be a coin flip. You can go one way or another. However, I might go with the upset here. Tennessee.
I could see that. I mean, rookies immediately making an impact is tough, especially at quarterback. I mean, you're gonna have those first game jitters. It's just a matter of how long it takes you to shake them off. All right, Jake, what you got?
Well, I'm a Lions fan. I have to hate on the Bears. I'm just gonna say it. Caleb Williams is getting way too overhyped. Dude, I don't even think he won anything major in college, like a few bowl games, but never brought USC to title contention. Williams, I don't see him doing anything more than getting a few highlight reel plays. He's the next Justin Fields for Chicago. Tennessee, I think they're too washed to do any major damage, but I think they win this game by like 3 or 4 points, and it's going to be an ugly game. I just got Tennessee. I don't see the Bears doing anything. And the difference for me is the rushing attack. It's much better on Tennessee than it is on Chicago.
Yeah, no,
Starting off with a bang here.
yeah. TJ, who you got?
Potentially a lone wolf pick because I'm going with the Bears over the Titans. Just solely based off of Derrick Henry no longer being in Tennessee. And if you really look at it coming into this game, really all the hype is on Chicago's side, all the new additions, obviously Williams at quarterback. I think if nothing else, just hype will propel the Bears to at least stay in it, if not pull off the win in the end. So it was a tough one, but I'm going to pick Chicago, edging out the Titans in probably a close game. It's probably a lower scoring game too.
Stole my take, guy. God damn it. So
I'm not the lone wolf.
The Titans lost their identity. When Derrick Henry left the building, Tennessee lost their identity. That was their identity. He was the offense. He was the team. He was the offense. The Titans are gonna. You want maybe a foreshadow. I think the Titans are going to be picking in the top 6, top 5. I think they're going to be bad this year. Derrick Henry was their identity. They ran that offense through him. And now they have to now that they don't have him, they're going to have to figure it out. I think them losing him and then not having a true the quarterback's the general on the field, and you're going to trust Will Levis like that's a halfway decent division that they're in. And then their schedule's not exactly the easiest either. I think they could be picking top 5. I don't think they're going to be a good team. I think they're going to struggle through this year. So I am going to take the Bears. I will. I will take Chicago. I'm kind of with you, TJ. Hey, Coach Dante in the house.
Welcome in.
What's up, Dante?
What's good, y'all? How y'all doing today?
Doing well.
All right, so let's throw it at Coach while we're here. Dante,
Yes, sir.
we going through some picks. Titans or Bears, Coach?
I'm taking the Bears. I don't think the Titans gonna be very good this year.
I would agree. All right, let's move it on. I think this is going to be the final 1:00 game. The Jaguars taking on the Dolphins. Dante, let's start it with you. Who you got?
I'm taking the Miami Dolphins. I like the Odell Beckham pickup. I like Tyreek Hill. I like Tyreek Hill. I think Tua has improved outside of the playoffs last year that they made. I just think they got. I like the weapons. I like the weapons. Like the run game as well. Jaguars. Trevor Lawrence just hasn't been that. That quarterback for the future for them. But we'll see. He come off the big time contract. We'll see if that's improved. That helps him out to improve. Even though I think he still will be the same quarterback. But like I say, man. Like I said, I think the Dolphins are a better team than the Jacksonville Jaguars. So I will take the Miami Dolphins to win this game.
So just to address the question in the chat there, Sam, he was outside the stadium and he was released back to them in about an hour because Miami went to wherever he was being held and they said, we need our star player back. How much is it going to cost? And they basically gave him whatever the hell they wanted so they could get Tyreek Hill back on the field because within an hour, that motherfucker back in the dressing room. So that was quick. Yeah, it happened fast. It was like arrested, and then within like 2 hours, he was back in the dressing room. So it was handled, and then he's fine. He's going to be fine. Tyreek will play.
Good to hear from Miami.
And he'll either have a really good game.
I tell you one thing, Miami in the offseason, basically that Chiefs when they got lit up and knocked out of the playoffs, I think that crawled up their spine a little bit there, and they kind of that struck a nerve a little bit on them because they went out and I think they did what they had to do to kind of compete with some of these they took a good look at it and said, all right, what do we need to do to compete with some of these teams that are here with us? And they did a pretty good job they had a pretty good offseason and a pretty good draft. All right, TJ, who you got?
I have the Dolphins over the Jags. I think it's going to be a little bit of a closer game, a little bit of a barn burner in terms of points. But, unless you're trying to outrun a bear, you always want the fastest guy on your side.
Mm-hmm.
So they have Tyreek Hill. I'm going with the Dolphins. Tua, as it's already been said, looked a lot better last year. He keeps improving. I'm for the Dolphins.
That's another interesting thing too. He's going to be interesting to watch this year because he did show a lot of improvement last year.
Yeah, and he stayed healthy for the most part. So I'm actually looking forward to seeing how he can, continue to progress hopefully instead of decline.
Yeah, 100%. That's going to be one to watch too. Jake, what do you think?
I've got Miami. That offense is just too well-rounded. There's just too much for one Jaguars defense that I think will be very mediocre. Trevor Lawrence, he might have gotten paid a lot of money. So did Tua. I think the difference in this game is going to be if Tyreek Hill is either distracted or not distracted by his whole arrested thing just a few hours ago. I think he's going to play good just out of because he wants to, prove he's not distracted. I think Miami's just too well-rounded. Jalen Waddle, Tyreek. You got Tua, who's a statistical monster, especially in the first half of the season usually. Yeah, I've got to go Miami here.
100%. I agree. Alec, what do you think?
Oh yeah, just to break the news, everyone. See, as it was addressed by Sam over here. Let's go, Kendrick Lamar in the Super Bowl halftime show.
Nice.
It'll be a second time in 4 years, by the way. We speak at the Dolphins here. I feel they may be undeterred by the news of Tyreek Hill getting arrested, but he is all cleared and ready to go to play at Hard Rock Stadium against the Jaguars. The Jaguars are a confusing team, in my opinion, because they have all the tools necessary that they can advance up front. Trevor Lawrence, though, the question, we need to have a serious conversation about Lawrence. Are they paying him for what he is, or are they paying him for what he could be? I feel like they're banking on the opportunity for what he could be rather than what he is right now. Because they just gave him a contract that's the exact same as Joe Burrow's in terms of monetary value and term. Miami, on the other,
Jacksonville's stupid. STOOPID, stupid.
Well, on the other hand, Miami, they have every bit of offensive consistency right on them. They start fast. And while this is for another day, they need to finish the season on a high note. They didn't do that in the last 2 years. But I think they take the early win here against Jacksonville and make a statement that Southern Florida is here right now and still staying around as an ode to the Stanley Cup champion Florida Panthers.
I agree. I think Miami this year is going to surprise a lot of people. I think they're going to surprise a lot of people. I think they're slowly but surely becoming one of the final 4 or 6 teams that's going to be perennially there they're becoming a good team. Jake, what do you think?
He says he is going to be right back. He needs to refill his water. Oh, he's there.
All right, there you go.
Right on cue.
Hydration refill. All right, buddy, what do you think? What you got?
And Broncos Seahawks.
We're at Dolphins Jags.
Dolphin Jag.
I already said Miami.
Oh, you did? All right.
Oh, you did.
All right. So we're good. Everybody good. All right. Moving on. My bad. I'm a moron.
You're fine. You're fine.
All right. Broncos and the Seahawks. So, Jake, what you got? Start us off.
Oof. This is a tough one. I don't think either team is all that impressive. I could flip a coin. I could and be right or wrong. But I would have to say the Seahawks have a I think they're able to run the ball
Yeah.
and they have weapons on offense. I'm not a big Geno Smith believer, but I think he has more experience. He's gonna do better than like Bo Nix, because this will be, I believe, Bo Nix's first game if he's even starting.
Yes.
Yeah, so I think we're gonna see some rookie struggles there. The Broncos defense is still impressive, but I don't think they're gonna do much damage to Seattle.
I like that. Dante, who you got?
Well, Jake, since Jake don't got a coin, I flip my coin and just whatever side it lands on, that's the side I pick. But I do like the quality of pieces on defense that the Seattle Seahawks have though. The cornerback, Tyree Woolen, them over there, and the other cornerback that they got last year, who was really good last year,
Witherspoon.
Weatherspoon, who lit it up last year. They got some cornerstones over there. But other than that, Geno Smith did have a down year. The running game, Kenneth Walker, he's got to be healthy for the offense just to flow. I think the tight end, Noah Fant, had a solid year. But other than that, you got the Broncos on the other side, who has Bo Nix as their rookie quarterback. The receivers can't really be on the field, can't stay healthy. They traded Jerry Jeudy. Now you got Cortland Sutton over there by himself, so I don't. This is a game, but I will flip my coin. I'm going heads. I'm going heads for the Broncos, and I'm going tails for the Seattle Seahawks. Oh, wait.
What did it say?
It's heads.
All right.
Broncos.
Nice. TJ, what do you think?
Yeah, I'm going to go with Seattle, just because I feel like Geno Smith is going to have a little bit of a reemergence year. Again, had a down year, was already mentioned. I think Kenneth Walker is also going to improve now that he's coming into the season healthy. The Broncos, man, Bo Nix, he's going to go through some rookie struggles, I think, and I think he's going to make the mistake that makes the difference in probably another close, lower scoring game today.
Nice. And did we lose another one? Where did he go?
Well,
Oh, that was Key. That was
It
Key
is
that dropped
Key.
off. All right, Jake. You picked, right? That was everybody. We get everybody.
now you missed
Or
me
Alec,
out.
right?
Yeah, you missed out on me. Oh my God, I got Thanos snapped out of existence.
Sorry,
Oh my
man.
God. No. Either way, quarterback is the most volatile position in the NFL, especially when it comes to rookie quarterbacks.
100%.
So yeah, while this game isn't the most intriguing of sorts, I lean Seattle for a variety of reasons. This season may be a long one for Denver. It's going to be a painful rebuilding season, but Bo Nix may have Sean Payton on it at his disposal, which may help. But I'm not that high on the Broncos. Seattle, on the other hand, yes, Geno Smith had a disappointing year last season, and while I'm not the highest on Geno this year, on his long-term sustainability, they do have the weapons around him to back him up with Metcalf, Lockett, JSN, and with the ground game, which boost matters with Kenneth Walker. Defensively, they may be locked down there as well with Devon Witherspoon, Tariq Woolen, and while the safety tandem has changed, they still may be in good hands as ever. Rayshawn Jenkins may be an underrated addition to the Seattle defense. I think Seattle has this one.
Nice. I am going to go with the upset. I'm picking the Broncos.
Ooh,
All right.
why?
I'm picking the Broncos. I'm going to pick the upset. I don't know. I don't know. Something. I don't know. I just kind of got a gut feeling. That's going to be my upset. I'm going to go with the Broncos. I will pick Denver. All right, Raiders and Chargers coming up in the 405 time frame. So, Jake, who you got?
Whew, this one I gotta pick the Chargers. I believe Justin Herbert is one of the better quarterbacks in the NFL. And to be honest, the Raiders have a lot of intriguing pieces, but Devontae Adams, I don't think he wants to play there. They've got Minshew Mania starting at quarterback, and that only works for a few games a season. So you're looking at a team that's well-rounded, built to win, like the Chargers, who I think will give, the Chiefs a headache for the division. I see them as like an 11-win team. Versus the Raiders, who I think will probably be more along the lines of 5 to 7 wins. So I think I'm going to have to pick the Chargers in this divisional matchup.
Nice. All right. I think I think that's, dude, so many of these games you might as well just flip a coin because they could go either way. Both of those teams are pretty similar.
It's going to be a fun day for football.
Oh, that's gonna.
It's good. It's going to be a fun week 1 of football. It's going to be a lot of close games today.
God bless Jim Nantz and Tony Romo for calling this game.
Hey, as long as it's not Chris Collinsworth.
Now here's a guy.
We've turned the Chris Collinsworth broadcast in my house into a drinking game. That's oh he's yeah, no, forget it. Nope. TJ, who you got?
Well, the Chargers have a new head coach. Harbaugh obviously is his unanticipated return. They have Herbert. They lost Eckler running back, but you know what? And Keenan Allen for the matter. But you know what? I am picking the Raiders because call it Viva Las Vegas, whatever you want to call it. I love Minshew. I love what Pierce has going on over there. They shocked a couple teams, including this Chargers team, which essentially lost their previous head coach's job last season in a matchup. So I'm just feeling the Raiders today.
Nice.
I can get on board with that. 100%. I can get on board with that. I'm kind of with you. I like what Pierce. I like Pierce. I think he's what the Raiders have needed for a while.
I will say something about Antonio Pierce is that he reminds me a lot of Dan Campbell in terms of like he's a player, he's a coach for the players. The players love him.
He inspires those guys. He leads. He leads, which is what the Raiders have needed for a long time. They haven't had a guy who can command a room and lead his guys.
And
Alec, what do you think?
That's important.
Go on, Jake, first.
I was saying that as a Lions fan, when we saw Dan Campbell do that back in 2021, we learned like, man, this guy has potential. I don't think the Raiders are going to be good this year, but pretty soon with Antonio Pierce, they could be contending.
I like that comparison between Antonio Pierce and Dan Campbell being players, coaches, having been former players themselves. That said, this coaching matchup is of intrigue all around because when you have Antonio Pierce on one side and Jim Harbaugh on the other, Harbaugh's coming up a national championship in Michigan, which, by the way, is getting marred by, some things that Michigan won't like to mention because of cheating allegations, that is, Connor Stalions. Well, but nonetheless, Harbaugh's return to the NFL inspires a run-heavy offense in which he wants to promote with the Chargers. That was the scheme in which he went with the 49ers with Frank Gore. And it's something that he's no stranger to. Frank Gore, Blake Corum, they can both tell you all about it. Gus Edwards and J.K. Dobbins, once they get up and going, they can tell you all about this run-heavy scheme. That's what I feel that the Chargers are leaning more towards. But do keep in mind that the Raiders, they do have a coach of their own. I feel this season's series may be an even split, and I think the home team is going to win both games. This time around, it'll be the Chargers winning the home game.
I'm sorry to disappoint Jake, but the Chargers are going to lose this game. Sorry. Not by much, but they are going to lose this game.
Intriguing.
All right, who do we got left? Dante, right?
Yep.
TJ, you gave me your picks, right?
Yep.
I thought. All right, Dante, who you got?
I got the Chargers winning this game. I got the Chargers.
Although I do like Blake Corum, I think he's going to eat that Raider defense alive.
I do
I'll
like
just say that. I think the Chargers are going to run all over them.
I do like
Wait.
Land McConkey too at wide receiver that they got. I do like him at the wide receiver position. So Harbaugh being a head coach, I like him as well. But I'm taking the Chargers. I'm still okay a little bit high on the Raiders too. I think they'll have a solid season. With that, I think that defensive line gonna be held for teams though. Max Crosby and Christian Wilkerson. That's a big pickup for the Las Vegas Raiders.
Jim
Blake
Harbaugh is
Corum
going to
play
be
for the Rams?
the Jim Harbaugh-led Chargers is going to be real interesting to watch because what they should have done ever since they drafted Herbert, they should have run the damn ball, run the ball, get you an actual running back like Blake. They should have drafted a guy like Blake Corum years ago, and
He
use
plays for the
Eckler
Rams, too.
as kind of like a Shady McCoy kind of guy, third down back. Having Austin Eckler run between the tackles is just stupid, in my opinion. You're asking for him to wear down. He can't. He's too small of a guy to take that kind of beating. If Jim Harbaugh knows what's good for him, he's going to play a lot of two tight end set and just run the football this year and take a lot of pressure off of Justin Herbert.
Smash mouth football at its finest.
It works, dude. It works. Sometimes old school football, just line them up, two tight end set. Perfect example. How the Jerome Bettis Steelers were one of the funnest teams. As much as I hated you fuckers, the Jerome Bettis led Steelers were that was watching him just eat people's souls going in, running between the guards, was one of my favorite things ever. Run the football.
The team that stole plays from us hates us. Go figure, Unbelievable.
But I'm telling you, dude, that run the football. How do you calm a rookie quarterback down? When a running back's getting 4 yards a carry, just hand him the friggin' ball. And when you got to convert a 3rd and 3 compared to 3rd and 8, yeah, that makes a huge difference.
Big time.
When you're down 3 points and it's 3rd and 8 and you're on your own 40 trying to get in within field goal range with 2.5 minutes to go and you got a rookie quarterback, yeah, being able to hand a guy a football and know he can convert on a third and short is huge for that rookie quarterback. Like that's running games, even though they're trying to eliminate, smash mouth football as much as possible. Thanks, Roger Goodell. Not. It works. Smash mouth football works, especially when you're trying to run a clock out.
100%.
All right, let's move it on. 4:25 time frame. We got 2 games. First one, Cowboys taking on the Browns. And we will start it off with Dante. Who you got?
It's a little bit of a tough one for me. The only thing about the Browns, if Watson can stay healthy, he can be a solid quarterback. But the problem is he can't stay healthy. But the Browns' defense is really good, man. Outside of when we torched them last year in the playoffs, outside of that, but I think Myles Garrett is a load. Got the cornerback over there who's Denzel Ward, who's really good. That other defensive lineman also had a solid year. But they're pretty good on defense, and I think that defense will be able to keep them in a lot of games. The only problem is if Deshaun Watson can stay healthy. But I'm taking the Browns to win this game. I think it's going to be a close, hard-fought game. I think the Browns' defense and that defensive line can get home with or without even trying to blitz They did that several occasions. Last year, they didn't even blitz a lot last year, and they still got to the quarterback. It just depends on the quarterback, man. If Deshaun Watson can stay healthy, the Browns can be at least an 11-win team at best. They proved it last year. They won with Joe Flacco as a quarterback. Made the playoffs. They survived with him. Made the playoffs with him as a quarterback while that defense still was really good. But other than that, I'm going for the Browns to win this game. Close, hard-fought game. It'll be interesting to see how Chubb is going to look coming after that horrific injury. Will they be able to run the ball against the Cowboys? That's going to be interesting. But I'm going for the Browns in a close game.
You know what the biggest question is going to be for Deshaun? Does he still want to play football? Where's your – never mind like the athletic ability. It's where's your head at? Do you still want to play ball? What do you want to do? You know, because if you want to play ball, get your head in the game and play ball. You know, like lock it in. You're an NFL quarterback. As of right now, you still are. So the mental state of Deshaun Watson for me is the biggest question. If he wants to play ball and he's locked in, yeah, the Browns are going to win this game. Alec, who you got?
I got the Cowboys winning this game. For one, I don't trust Deshaun Watson as the Browns quarterback because when he arrived to Cleveland, they were thinking that he could be their long-term starter. So far, he's been the opposite of a long-term starter. He has a lot of question marks, very serious question marks as well. Can he still hold up? And that's where I have my doubts. Yes, I know Amari Cooper's a great route runner, but Watson is the main in question for very valid concerns. Dallas, this may be their last great shot with Dak Prescott at center, under center. The running back room doesn't look all that promising for them, but Rico Dowdle is making his case for being running back number one. I don't know how good he would be, but as long as Dak has CeeDee Lamb at his disposal, the offense will be all right. Both defenses, they look solid as ever. And the main conversation is going to be Myles Garrett versus Micah Parsons. Who's going to have the bigger game? I feel it's going to be a tougher matchup for both of them considering the offensive lines, especially Cleveland's being rock solid. But Dallas's offensive line does have its fair share of question marks because they lost Tyron Smith, but Zach Martin's still around. So that may be where they are at good hands at. Maybe. Just maybe. But I got Dallas.
People forget that Dallas offensive line that they built, like, it's aging out now.
It is.
And it's their job now, like, and they haven't done much to replace it, you know? I mean, because in their prime, that offensive line was a freaking wall. Like, but they're all at the end of their rope. TJ, what do you think?
I'm taking the Cowboys over the Browns. I just think the Cowboys are going to come back after what happened last season in the playoffs. They're going to want to prove something. The Browns, you know, we've kind of all said it so far. Big question mark. You know, what is up with Deshaun Watson? Is he going to have a comeback year? Is he going to keep just not playing up to par? Does he need a massage after the game? Who knows? Nobody knows. So I'm just going to go with the Cowboys.
Somebody just pay for that man's massage so he can keep his head in the game.
What there?
Robert Kraft, get on it. Come on.
Kraft knows something about that too. He can probably recommend one. Jake, what do you think?
I got the Cowboys. And I want to say that it broke within about an hour ago that Dak Prescott is now the highest paid quarterback. He might be the highest paid player. I believe it was Ian Rappaport got that story out. $60 million a year for 4 years. So
Wait.
Whoa.
They're paying Dak $60 million a year.
No.
they
Way.
Hold on. Confirmation
we
pending. Hold on a second. Let me just hold on.
Those are like NBA
because
numbers.
I'm not.
They just paid him.
Hold on. I just want to see it with my own eyes. Hold on.
240, 231 guaranteed.
All right, it's official. Yeah, I
Oh.
found it. It's official. The Cowboys are now the stupidest team in the NFL.
Absolutely.
Jerry.
They have now surpassed.
All that money to sell.
They have now surpassed the Carolina Panthers as the stupidest team in history. Yep.
I thought the title was the Cleveland Browns.
Well, no, the Cleveland Browns are the most miserable team in history.
So,
The stupid.
anyways,
60 million is what a guy with like 2 or 3 Super Bowl rings makes. They're paying $60 million to make it to the second round of the playoffs and get beat by 10 points
yeah.
By the
I was
49ers.
to say he's never even been to an NFC
by the 49ers
championship,
or
has he?
whoever the hell they play.
Yep.
Like,
Or they're going to make it to the Super Bowl and lose to the Chiefs.
They're not making it to the Super Bowl.
But
Absolutely not.
no, I'm saying best case scenario. Best case scenario, they make it to the Super Bowl and get beat by the Chiefs.
Yeah.
Which might be even I mean, as much as I can't stand the Chiefs, I just like to see the Cowboys lose.
The Cowboys aren't even making it to the divisional round. Come on.
Yeah,
on.
divisional round it, but that's insanity. I that's insane. That's what like guys like Tom Brady make. $60 million a year. Like that's yeah, it's official. Somebody needs to go lock Jerry Jones out of the Cowboys bank account, like for good.
Well, I thought you were going
Take
to
his
say
keys
out of
away.
the building, like what.
Oh
Jet
no, yeah,
did to
somebody
Jamal
needs
Adams.
to take that dude's key fob away so he can't even get into the stadium.
My mind is just
Senile.
my mind is just imploding from this. I mean, I'm trying
Well,
to comprehend.
You're
this
Jerry
concept.
Jones.
Well, let's take a minute for a
These are the
second.
kinds of
Let's take a minute for a
contracts that are
second. Like,
reserved
let's
for
talk-
guys like Mahomes, Allen, those guys.
Let's take a minute for a second, right? Like, that's insanity. That's like 35% of the cap that you're paying to one guy who has yet to even get you to an NFC title game. So now you got to dedicate 35% of your cap. Like, so get ready, Dallas fans, because you're about to see Dak Prescott and CeeDee Lamb, and that's it for the next 4 years. That's it. You're not going to get any other talent in free agency unless you draft them. That's it. You better hope that this is your world. You're gonna so.
Do the
Like, this is
Cowboys
it.
still have some of those cardboard cutouts from 2020? Because they might need to sign some of those guys. Man,
Bring Cowboys and Amari Cooper back from a time machine and put him on this team because a top-heavy team just got even more top-heavy.
And people forget the Chiefs got better too. They got better. Dallas isn't beating Mahomes or any, let's say by some miracle and, God shines down on them and gets them to the Super Bowl. They're not beating the Kansas City Chiefs. The Chiefs got better from last year. They got better. If that was possible, they got better. I have no words for that. $60 million for Dak Prescott. Like, Jerry Jones is an idiot. Me and you've gone back and forth on this. Dante, too. Look, you guys all know. Until that dude goes to the upper room, Dallas ain't winning a Super Bowl. It's all flash and no, and that's all it is. A big flashy, big splash move that does nothing for the team. Nothing. And that's what it's been for 10 years. He just made it worse. They're never going to win. And now we all get to laugh at them for the next 5 seasons. Still.
They are going to win week 1 against the Cleveland Browns.
Yes. They
That's
will
the thing.
win week 1. They will win a lot. They will win a lot of regular season games. They won't win a lot of playoff games.
They're just a regular season team. That's all there is to it.
That team, the Dallas Cowboys are the embodiment of Phillip Rivers.
And we're throwing
Except a
Phillip
lot
Rivers
more
under the
unlikable.
bus.
We got
Philip
kicked
Rivers
off in a
has
half
more
hour.
kids than
Gentlemen.
Dak Prescott does playoff wins. Oh, it's all right. So let's move it on. I mean, we could make fun of the Cowboys for 4 hours, but let's just get
That would be fun. We should do that sometime.
All right, Washington and the Buccaneers. This is going to be a good game. The Bucs and the Commanders, because I think Jaden Daniels is going to surprise people this year. I think he's going to have a really good year. Let's see. Jake, start it off. What do you think?
I think it's the Buccaneers. The Commanders they're not a great team. You know, Jaden Daniels is going to have some rookie growing moments versus Baker Mayfield is going to have some experience. That Buccaneers team is old, though. Mike Evans and Chris Godwin are still wide receiver 1 and 2 after how many years?
Yeah.
Too many years. But at the same time, I don't think the Commanders have the running game. They don't have the O-line. They don't have the defense to compete with Tampa Bay. So I have the Buccaneers winning by like 10, 15 points.
Alec, what do you think?
You know, as Jake pointed out, the Buccaneers, they do have some age concerns. My other concern with the Buccaneers is Baker Mayfield. Yes, he was solid last season. My question with him is, now that Dave Canales is gone, is he going to adjust to this new offense, or is he just a product of Canales himself?
Yeah.
Now, as new offensive coordinator, he worked with in his brief time with the Los Angeles Rams, which could help, but I'm just not sure much else is there. And Rashad White does bring me some consistency question marks about him.
Yeah.
Defensively, that's where I have eyebrow raises, because they're not too special, but they're not too bad. They're just meh. Washington, on the other hand, they're very young, and they just trade away Jahan Dotson to the Eagles, which could give room to Luke McCaffrey showing out and having a solid year one. If McCaffrey, there's a McCaffrey in the house, well, that means he may be expected to perform. Now, Brian Robinson Jr. could have some value in him. And Austin Eckler being running back number 2 behind Robinson, it might be a solid 1-2 punch, but just solid may be all there is to it between Robinson and Eckler. Jaden Daniels, we don't know what it is of him because we don't know what to expect from a rookie quarterback. But Washington's defense needs a lot of patchwork. Now that Emmanuel Forbes has been benched, you have to rely. I gotta wonder who they have, because Benjamin St. Juice is in that room, but they do have that corner from Michigan, Mike Sanders, still at the mold. The front seven, they have some work cut out for them, but Bobby Wagner, Frankie Louvu, I like that for them. So this could be a sneaky pick, but I might be leaning with an upset. I'm going with the Commanders.
Interesting.
Took my take, damn it. Coach, who you got?
I got who the Commanders playing again? Who the Commanders playing again?
The Buccaneers.
Buccaneers.
I got the
Buccaneers.
Buccaneers. I got the Buccaneers. I mean, yes, their receiving core is getting old, but Mike Evans study finds a way. I don't call him Mike Evans. I call him 1,000 Evans, because he has 1,000 yards.
True.
Every single year he came in the NFL, he still finds a way to get it done. Baker Mayfield, it'll be interesting if he can put up another year like he did last year. But I think Buccaneers may be just better all around. Like Jaden Daniels coming up out of the draft, I think he's going to have a rookie wall, hit a rookie wall where he plays well, where he doesn't play well. I like the Buccaneers more better. I like the Buccaneers more better in this game.
TJ, what do you think?
I'm also picking the Buccaneers over the Commanders. The Commanders, they're set up really good, for the future. They might even start pulling off some upsets and solid victories by the end of this season, but it's going to take some growing pains. Got a young team, a lot of new players as well in key positions, and a new head coach. And Buccaneers, man, Baker Mayfield was one of the very few Browns players I actually liked and enjoyed watching while he was in Cleveland as well. So I'm going with the Bucs.
I think one of the major things that Tampa has over Washington is the experience. A lot of those players, like Washington, is very, very young. That whole team, and that there is a lot of deficits on the Washington side, but I do think they luck into a win today. I don't think it's going to be pretty, but I think they luck into one. I think Jaden Daniels does play well today. I do like the Bucs, though. I think they're going to have another sneaky good year. I think they're going to fly below the radar for a lot of the season, but I do think the Buccaneers are going to have a good year. I think that Baker fits really well down there. I think he finally found his team, the team that he fits in well with, and he's worked well done. I think he's going to continue to do well. I think he'll pick up right where he left off last year, and just Mike Evans and Godwin's are tough to that's a good combo. I mean, are they aging out? Do they probably have 1 or 2 seasons left in them, and that's it? Yeah, probably, but they're still going to get it done. The Bucs will be a scrappy team all year, and they'll end up with a good record. But I do think Washington lucks into a win today. That's my prediction. All right, we are winding it down, guys. We got 2 games left, the night games for tonight and Monday night. LA taking on Detroit for the Sunday night game. The Rams, let's start off with Jake.
Well, you already know what I'm picking.
I already know, but I want to hear why.
Lions by 1 million. Lions going to the Super Bowl. I mean, Ford Field's going to break the decibel record. Jared Goff is going to throw for 450 yards. Amon-Ra St. Brown will have 3 touchdowns. Sam Laporta will get in on it. Jahmyr Gibbs is going to rush for so many yards. I'm too much of a Lions homer to pick against them. I also think this.
Here's the thing, right? This is the case of
everyone.
The Lions, one team trending up, and I think the other team hitting a plateau and trending down. I think the Rams got some work to do, but and the Lions are just every year Dan Campbell found his stride, man. It took him a little bit, but he's got that team playing really, really well. All right, Alec, what do you think?
Detroit. And while the Rams, they do have some solid pieces with Cooper Kupp and Puka Nacua, do remember that they are aging, and they also have some offensive line concerns with them. They did nab Jonah Jackson. They gave Kevin Dotson a raise.
Yep.
However, Aaron Donald retired. They do have some solid young pieces around the guys that he had around him. Kobe Turner at the defensive line, and the edge rushing duo of Byron Young and Jared Verse. That could be promising. Detroit has taken a lot of steps towards Super Bowl contention.
Yep.
Not only we're stacking up the attack, building around the offensive line, the wideouts, but defense has been the main concern for them. I think they may have addressed that in the offseason. DJ Reederson, he may not be playing tonight, but he's going to be soon enough. That secondary, though, that was my main point. While they lost C.J. Gardner-Johnson, Brian Branch is a promising piece as well. Plus, they got Terry and Arnold to build onto that secondary. And it's Rakestraw as well as the other rookie on the backfield. Right opposite Carlton Davis, they can alternate between Arnold and Rakestraw opposite Davis. You would not go wrong with that one. Was Aiden Hutchinson, he may be due for another breakout season. Could this be the year he gets himself into the Defensive Player of the Year conversations? It could be.
100%. TJ, what do you think?
I'm going with Detroit over the Rams. I'm just going to keep it real simple and say there is no way Jared Goff is going to let Matthew Stafford beat him. Done deal.
I agree. Coach?
I'm going for the Lions. I'll take the Lions to win this game.
Here's a hot take. I think the Lions are going to blow the Rams out. I think the Lions are dropping
Wow.
30. I think the Lions are dropping 38 plus.
Only?
Wow.
I think that score is going to be 38-14.
Wow.
I don't.
I
think you
think
have
I think the Lions are going to demolish the Rams.
You don't have the Lions
Wow.
winning by enough. It's Lions
Of course,
by
it's never
million.
enough.
Lions by million.
I like the direction the Lions are going in. I think they're trending. I think every year for the ever since Campbell got there, they've trended upward. They finally might be able to claw themselves out of the hole that they've been in for 2 decades. They've slowly but surely built a very, very solid team. And you know what, too? You know what should scare people? People want to play for that team now.
Mm-hmm.
People want to play for Detroit now. Free agents want to play there.
That's the Dan Campbell effect for you.
Like for years, it was that was their biggest problem is they couldn't attract, the talent. Now, that's not a problem. People want to play there now. Because ever since the ownership change, what do good owners do? They just sit up in their little suites and they count the money and they shut up and they let the football people do the football things and they don't meddle. They just let the football people make football decisions. And that's what the new ownership is doing with the Lions. She came out and said, I don't know football, but I'm going to put people in place that do. That was one of the first press conferences she said when she first took over the ownership was, I don't know football that great, but I'm going to put people in places that do, and I'm going to let them do their job. And that she did this, hired people that know it better than her, and she let them do their job. And look at where they're at now.
She got one of the best general managers in NFL history in Brad Holmes.
But that's what I'm saying. Good owners hire good people to make them look good, and then they just sit back and count the money and shut up. That's what good owners do. They don't meddle. They don't put their hands in something that they don't know what they're doing.
But Jerry says,
Insert Jerry Jones.
Of course, Jerry always says this. Jerry says that. Well, follow the Sheila Ford Hat model.
Like the universe must have forgot about Jerry Jones because that dude is old as dirt. Like he was reading books when they chiseled them.
Jerry Jones is just delusional at this point. He's seen
he sticks his nose where it doesn't belong. Like a perfect example is if you want to get better and you're a team that's on the downslope, you hire good people and you let them do their freaking job and you just get out of their way. That's what she did when the Detroit Lions changed ownership. She even said it. She said it in the first press conference she made. I don't know football, but I'm going to hire people that do, that know it a lot better than I do, and I'm going to let them do their job. And she took flack for it because she said she didn't know football. I give her credit for saying it. I don't know this as well as most people, but I'm going to do the best I can to hire the best people that do. That's a good owner. That's a good owner. With that being said, we're going to move it on. Who we got? We got coach left, right? Or did we get everybody?
I believe we got everybody.
I believe we got everybody here.
No.
All right, last game, the Monday night game, guys. Jets and Niners. Let's see. Coach, start it off. What you got?
I'm going for the 49ers at home. You shouldn't lose to the New York Jets, but the only way the Jets will win this game if their defense, and they got the type of defense that can keep you into any ball game. But I'm going for the 49ers because they have a little bit more. And their defense is just as good as the Jets as well. But they're better on the offensive side of the ball. keeping Brandon Ayuk is huge for them. Not having to trade him. Debo Samuel gives you a lot in the running game and in the pass game as well, even though his hands are a lot more questionable. George Kittle, we know what he gives you. We know what Christian McCaffrey will give you. The only way to just somehow win this game, if they can keep the 49ers up under 20 points in this game, I feel like that's the only way the Jets will have an opportunity to win this game. And also, the 49ers secondary is pretty solid as well. Didn't give them credit for it, but I got the 49ers. I just think they're better all around. The only way I see the Jets probably putting out an upset is their defense keeping them at least up under 20 points. But other than that, I think the 49ers are way better, just a better team than the New York Jets.
TJ, I agree. I agree. TJ.
Top to bottom, 49ers are the overall better team. The Jets, yeah, they did okay last year. Pretty good considering the circumstances, but just because Aaron Rodgers joins the team does not mean they're going to beat the team. Literally the best, probably Super Bowl losing team ever, going into OT last year, losing on the final play after they kicked a field goal. So theoretically, in the old days, they'd be the champs right now. But I don't see the 49ers losing this game. I don't see the Jets pulling an upset at all. I see the 49ers really hammering the Jets.
100%. I think this is going to be another blowout. Everybody's on the Jets hype train, and I don't understand it. Rodgers is he an incredible talent? Yeah, but his ability to stay healthy is in serious. That dude takes another wrong hit, and their season's over.
His career's over.
That 100%. He takes another hit like that and gets another bad injury, is done. Their season and his career over. Alec, what do you think?
I mean, you speak of everybody being on the Jets hype train. Who is this everybody that we're speaking of, by the way?
The NFL media.
Well,
the NFL talking heads, the pundits, the cobwebs for brains.
Come on. Let's be honest. The Jets are the most overhyped team in the NFL. I think they're going to disappoint this season. If you're expecting the Jets to be winning the AFC East, prepare yourself for disappointment because that's who the Jets are. Don't lie to yourselves. The Jets are going to disappoint you. It's going to happen some way or another. Even for as strong of a defense that they have, there's going to be something that gets in the way. Well, Aaron Rodgers going to Egypt and skipping in camp. That might be the start of all the drama around him. Every playoff contending team isn't without its drama, and the Jets are no exception to it. Heck, we saw people talking about the Chiefs more than we talked about the Jets, of Rashee Rice, Harrison Butker, Taylor Swift, and that. Well, the Jets, they have their fair share of drama. Because whenever Aaron Rodgers is in a locker room, there's going to be some form of toxicity there. And I think it's going to be a distraction for the Jets. San Francisco's going to be poised, keeping their heads over the water. Well, not just over the water. They're going to be right on their boat, and they're going to they're going to be firing on all cylinders.
They're not going to be pissed about losing the Super Bowl?
Well, they're going to be pissed. They're going to make a statement.
Yeah.
And they're going to be punching the Jets right in the mouth. I'm not going to say if it's a blowout or not because I might not expect a blowout, but they're going to be punching the Jets right on the mouth. And it's going to be San Francisco Niners getting the win. See what I did there?
I got San Francisco.
I agree. I think I agree. There's no the Jets are overhyped. They're overhyped. They're over talked about. Everybody's like, Rodgers takes one wrong hit or falls the wrong way going down or something in a sack. Like, it's over. It's over.
100%.
Jake, what do you think?
40.
Here, I got San Francisco by 20. Aaron Rodgers is 40. He's 40 coming off of a torn Achilles. I don't get why people would say that Rodgers is going to be like prime Aaron Rodgers. Yeah, you might think he's only a few years removed from winning MVPs. He didn't deserve those MVPs. He only won them because he didn't throw interceptions. And in my opinion, I think the Jets' offense is solid, but is not like world beating. The defense is going to be the strong suit, but defense only takes you so far. When you're the Jets and you're relying on Aaron Rodgers, he goes down, your season's done for, right? We saw that last year. I think it's going to happen again at some point. Like, Rodgers misses time this year because he's 40, coming off of a torn Achilles. You know, 1 sack, and he probably has to sit out a game. He's ancient.
100%. 100%. So lightning round, real quick, guys. We got one more thing. Lightning round, quick, fast, and then we'll call it a show. Offensive Rookie of the Year, Defensive Rookie of the Year. Dante, who you got?
Offensive Rookie of the Year. I know everybody probably expect to be a quarterback, but I'm gonna just go out on a limb. I don't think it will be a quarterback. I'm gonna just go Marvin Harrison Jr. for Offensive Rookie of the Year. I just don't want to say quarterback all the time. I know expected to be Keller Williams. I know expected to be Keller Williams. As some people will expect the quarterback, but I'm just going to go out on a limb and just say Marvin Harrison Jr. Defensive Player of the Year. That's pretty tough on my hands. So I'm gonna have to wait. I'm gonna have to wait to back that off. The Offensive Rookie of the Year.
TJ, who you got?
Offensive Rookie, I also have Marvin Harrison Jr. I think he's going to do a lot of good things. Defensive Rookie of the Year, edge rusher Dallas Turner. I think he's gonna make a lot of noise on the defensive line this year.
Anthony, we will get to that at the end, and we'll give you the answers to that in about a minute. Jake, what do you think?
He's not on here right now.
Oh, did he leave? All right. Alec.
All right. I know of the hype traits around Marvin Harrison Jr. and Caleb Williams in this. I know these are the easy picks. I'm going a different direction and picking Xavier Worthy, given he was the top receiver with Texas and he has that tantalizing speed that can put terror on NFL secondaries. The moment he got drafted by the Chiefs was the moment he got himself inserted into Offensive Rookie of the Year discussions. Defensive Rookie of the Year, Jared Verse with the Los Angeles Rams. The pass rush is avoided to be filled in with Aaron Donald, but Verse right next to Byron Young, that's a good defense to be at for Verse to thrive, because these are two young players, with Young being a sophomore and Kobe Turner also being a sophomore, and they can build off of one another and thrive in this Rams defense.
100%. All right, Jake, Offensive Rookie of the Year, Defensive Rookie of the Year.
I think my Offensive Rookie of the Year probably going to be Marvin Harrison Jr. or Rome Odunze. Either one of them has the chance to take a mediocre to bad team and make them better. Defensively, actually, I also want to point out Jaden Daniels for Washington is a dark horse for Offensive Rookie of the Year, in my opinion. He's got the skill set. Defensive Rookie of the Year, I'm a Lions homer, so I got to say, like, Terrion Arnold.
All right, defense is tough for me because there's so much. Like, there's like 4 guys that could legitimately get that award in the rookie class this year. So that's tough for me. I'm gonna say Jaden Daniels for the Offensive Rookie of the Year for me. Either Jaden Daniels or Worthy. Worthy, Alec. Like, I agree with that. That kid's gonna be a game changer. But that's what we got for you guys for this morning. Everybody enjoy their team's games. It is just about kickoff for the 1 o'clock schedule. From all of us here at the Sports Wave Network, TJ, Coach, myself, Jake, and Alec, good luck to your teams. Good luck, fellas. And let's go. Football season 8 minutes away. But that's it for the pregame countdown. We appreciate Coach Dante, Jake, Alec, and TJ.
What was the question we said?
Oh, and
we'd
the
answer
fantasy
real quick?
question. We'll do that real quick. Caleb Williams or CJ Stroud?
CJ
I'm
Stroud.
picking Stroud.
Stroud, 100%.
CJ Stroud.
Okay.
I don't have to explain much things else.
Yeah,
Didn't leave you hanging out.
yeah. I don't think much explanation is needed. CJ Stroud all day. That kid's the truth. But we appreciate you guys, and we are out of here. Everybody have yourself a good weekend and enjoy the football. Thanks again, guys. We're out of here.